China's 20th Party Congress is over. Chinese leader Xi Jinping got what he wanted, a third term, amendments to the party constitution to affirm his leadership, and a Politburo comprising only his loyalists. International media commented that Xi isn't interested in having a successor. I think the media has misjudged Xi Jinping. He has, in fact, chosen a successor and is actively making arrangements for him to succeed. Even the removal of former CCP leader Hu Jintao is related to his succession plan. So did Xi Jinping have Hu Jintao removed from the party congress in order to pave the way for his successor? And who is he? Hi everyone, welcome to my show. I'm Lei. Welcome to Leisrealtalk. After the CCP's party congress ended, The Economist announced that Xi Jinping isn't interested in a succession plan. NPR or National Public Radio said what the 69-year-old strongman did not do was anoint a successor. And the South China Morning Post concluded that there is no obvious successor at the party congress. The reason? Xi might want to rule for life. As much as Xi Jinping wants to rule for life, I think not having a successor will cost him politically because the lack of leadership continuity threatens the regime, and Xi's opponents will use it against him. The longer Xi delays picking an heir, the more ammunition he gives to his enemies to attack him. If he doesn't pick someone, others will choose one for him. So Xi must choose a successor. According to CCP protocol, the next leader must be part of the top governing body of the party, the Politburo Standing Committee. The reason Western media outlets don't think Xi has a successor is that he doesn't have someone strong enough in the 20th Party Congress Standing Committee. I think this argument is not valid because dictators who want to rule for life don't want a successor who is strong and competitive, right? Mao had two successors, Liu Shaoqi and Lin Biao, who were both capable, but both were taken down precisely due to their capability. In the end, Mao chose Hua Guofeng, a nice guy who was known for his loyalty. Deng Xiaoping also struck down two capable successors. The reason? These two men had a vision for China that was different from Deng's. Deng chose Jiang Zemin, a choice he also regretted. Deng eventually appointed Hu Jintao because of his non-competitiveness. So you see, if Xi Jinping wants to rule for life, he wouldn't want to have a baby Xi Jinping in line to take over because this baby may grow up one day and beat Xi the elder. He wants someone who is forever loyal to him and serves as his frontman to carry out his vision. And I think he has decided who that person is. If you look at the new 7-person Politburo Standing Committee and their age, everyone on the list will be at least 70 years old at the next party congress in 5 years, except one man. There's only one person who will be under 70 years old in 2027, and he is the only one who has the chance to succeed Xi Jinping. That person is Xi's favorite aide, his chief of staff, Ding Xuexiang. This is the man who is most loyal to Xi, and Xi is doing everything he can to make sure that Ding is on track to succeed him, even at the cost of publicly humiliating former CCP leader Hu Jintao. We know that Hu Jintao's two big allies, Li Keqiang and Wang Yang, didn't make it on the Central Committee list. According to an Epoch Times interview with Wang Jintao, who is a Chinese dissident living in New York, who has connections with CCP officials, Li and Wang's pending retirements are linked to the downfall of one important person, Hu Chunhua, who was at one point Hu Jintao's chosen successor for Xi Jinping. 10 years ago, when Hu Jintao turned over the regime to Xi Jinping, he appointed two individuals to succeed Xi as the 6th CCP leader. They were Hu Chunhua and Sun Zhencai, who are similar in age and experience. Both were promoted to the Politburo in 2012. However, Sun Zhencai perceived Hu Chunhua as a worthy opponent and wanted to win out over him. According to Desmond Shang's book, Red Roulette, Sun Zhencai had close relations with Jiang Zemin and his deputy Zheng Qinghong and was very ambitious. Sun's ambition and ties with the Jiang faction eventually cost him his future. In 2017, Sun was investigated for corruption. and Xi Jinping sentenced him to life in prison. Desmond Sun's ex-wife, who was one of Sun's confidants, has been locked up and is missing from the public eye. Many people believe that the real essence of Sun's case was not corruption, but his political ambition to be the sixth CCP leader. After Sun was locked up, Hu Chunhua stayed low-key and pledged loyalty to Xi Jinping. From Xi's perspective, if Hu Chunhua were promoted to the Politburo Standing Committee, he would be the youngest member, directly competing with Ding Xuexiang. It would create the same type of competition between the two youngest members of the Standing Committee. Although Hu Chunhua may not have the ambition to be the sixth leader, his presence on the Politburo Standing Committee might be used by Xi's political enemies to oppose Xi's chosen heir. Xi Jinping wants to eliminate all obstacles and clear the way for Ding Xuexiang to rise to the top. According to Hu Jintao's interview, a vice minister-level official told him that Hu Jintao and Xi Jinping had reached an agreement. Li Keqiang and Wang Yang would remain in the Standing Committee, and Hu Chunhua would join as well. In exchange, Hu Jintao would support Xi's effort to affirm his leadership through a party constitution amendment, which was like an insurance clause for him to stay in power. But Xi Jinping changed his mind before the party congress and dropped Hu Chunhua from the Standing Committee. Hu Jintao was upset and withdrew his support for Xi's amendment and responded that Li Keqiang and Wang Yang would bow out completely. This probably happened last minute and explains why the number of Politburo members is reduced from the usual 25 to 24, because Xi didn't have the time to replace Hu Chunhua. So why did Xi kick him out of Politburo? He did it to make sure that nobody in the Standing Committee would pose a threat to Ding Xuexiang as the successor. Ding's biggest weakness is that he had held exclusively administrative positions with no prior leadership experience at provincial or municipal level. By comparison, Hu Chunhua had been the party secretary of Guangdong and Inner Mongolia, governor of Hubei province, and vice premier in the state council. If he is allowed into the 7-person Standing Committee, not only is he younger than Ding, but also more qualified. To eliminate any obstacle for Ding's rise to the top, Xi Jinping did something that surprised and upset many people. He kicked Hu Chunhua out of the 24-person Politburo, completely shutting down his chance to compete with Ding. This certainly infuriated Hu Jintao, and the timing of his public removal by Xi took place right before the delegates were to vote on the Constitution's amendments. I think Hu Jintao was unlikely to raise his hand to vote yes, and that would be embarrassing for Xi Jinping in front of international press, so he ordered Hu's removal. As I see it, the essence of the drama between Hu Jintao and Xi Jinping is all about Xi's successor. Ding Xuexiang will likely play the role of the executive vice premier in the new Standing Committee. This is the path Xi has designed for him to make up for his lack of leadership experience. It has precedence because Deng Xiaoping, Hua Guofeng, and Zhao Ziyang all played the role of vice premier before becoming the party leader. The day after the Politburo Standing Committee members were publicly announced, Xinhua News Agency had a long article explaining the selection process of the leaders and mentioned that some officials voluntarily bowed out in the interest of promoting younger leaders. I think it indirectly confirmed that Li Keqiang and Wang Yang have quit on their own. I just explained why Li Keqiang and Wang Yang are going to retire, why Hu Chunhua is out of the Politburo, why Xi Jinping removed Hu Jintao at the party congress, and who Xi Jinping's successor might be. After this video is released, don't be surprised if mainstream media starts talking about Xi Jinping's successor. Please let me know you liked this video by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. See you next time.